Namaste, angels. This is going to be another client reading. This woman I have read for once before and performed energy healing on once before. I don't otherwise know anything about her. We just became Facebook friends today. I didn't check out her page to try to figure her out or anything like that, though. So other than the fact that I've read for her before and she said that it was, super accurate, and that's why she wants another one. That's all I know about her. Anyway, I'm beginning with transients for the third time today, I think. So this is pretty interesting, but this is an indication of the need for healing. It could be her need for continued or more healing, or this could relate to the divine masculine as well. I'm going to do this spread from his perspective, as a matter of fact, and opening to physical body. Definitely the energy of fire signs obviously comes through this, with the sun beaming behind this nude woman who is in a full state of vulnerability, and like allowing that light to shine down on her. The sun is very healing for us, although many of us have become afraid of its rays and what they can do also. And there's, there's something to be said for, there's different thoughts and opinions on all of that. But primarily being outside. I remember when I was raising kids, and like I'm older than a lot of my clients, and from people that are older than me, my elders, my mother, my grandmother, there were always sayings like, you had to take your baby outside every day. The baby needed sunlight in order to thrive. They wouldn't grow properly and healthily if they didn't have it, and a lot of those things are gone, but we do still need that. So I am feeling a need to, summer just started yesterday, enjoy it. And then there is maybe also because of summer started, and a lot of us, myself included, wait until it starts to worry about, oh, now I need a summer body. I didn't do that yet. That can be coming into play too. Somebody wanting to heal themselves in that way and work on, aesthetics and physical health and appearance. Transients and the gateway. This could be connected to the upcoming shift, or it could be in general, just different chapters that you are, experiencing and then that are coming to a close. Oh, look at that. How these just fell away just now, and I was going to just pick them up and put them right back, but how can I and not show you this first, Sacred Union. Opening to meditation, of course, that's an indication of the need for healing too, particularly opposite transients. And answered prayer. Answered prayer, other than being pretty much straightforward, it's about, the universe, God hearing us and fulfilling our requests. But also this card brings out the energy of both air and water for me. And if I was going to be more specific, I would say Aquarius and Scorpio, but it could be any. Meditation. I'll cut. So this will be a half-hour reading. I'm trying to be more careful about going over than usual, because I generally don't care. Well, there you go. This might save me a lot of time. Maybe the angels are helping me to save some time. I'll go just throw cards out there that you need to see. I don't care about going over. I'm not like, oh, you owe me 5 cents or whatever like that. But today I'm trying to be careful because I have so many to do, and I want to get as many out and up as possible. Overall energy is transmutation, so more fire sign energy coming through very strong. And what transmutation is all about is when we do that healing, a lot of like negative emotions and cords of attachment to people, places, and things that no longer align with our vibration, we can take the negative aspects of all of those and through our healing turn all that negativity into love, and then that allows us to continue to grow and to thrive, like my grandmother would say, my big mama, thrive from the rays, and to ascend. It's like recycling energy, you know? What am I doing? Divine feminine about herself. The masculine about the feminine, about himself, and the union as a whole. Overall, what the masculine would have the feminine do, surrender, contribute toward the union, what he himself is willing to, and what the universe would have the two do, and lastly, the outcome. Divine feminine, enchantment. So this is again another card of indicative of the need for healing and or the universe sending healing energy one way or another. Here we have Venus and Mars. So both archetypes represented here, masculine and feminine, coming through from the crown chakra, and we have to imagine exuding all the way through, probably out the soles of her feet. It's head to toe healing. She has been through some stuff in life before. You can tell her face is scarred, her neck is scarred, yet she doesn't look, fearful. She doesn't look worn, tired, beaten, down, out. None of that. She still looks completely complicit in her own healing, and just accepting of what she's going to and desiring to be healed. So that's awesome for you. If that's where you are or where your higher self is indicating you're going with your spirituality, that's beautiful. Masculine about the feminine. Divine guidance. He may be receiving some guidance of his own about you, but of course it's going to have more than one meaning also, sort of admiring the divine guidance that you've taken, to and taken to heart and are following also. There's also recognition here. Here's our 8 too, by the way. That could be attached to the gateway. Full moon. We have a full moon coming up at the end of this week on the 28th, the full moon in Capricorn. And what the moon represents is feminine energy. And then further for me, feminine energy specifically of surrender. So just exactly what this woman is doing. Surrendering, allowing herself to be 100% completely vulnerable. That's what feminine energy of surrender is all about. The masculine about himself, eternal flame. Is he the fire sign? Somebody's a fire sign here. This is also not only about being a fire sign, of course, but pretty straightforward, eternal flame, and about one's passions burn, like when your passion has been ignited. All right, that someone or something has gotten a flame burning within you, and now it can't be put out, it can't be extinguished. It is eternal now. It's always going to continue to burn, and it's something that is like really fulfilling to you, something that you desire, that you would put you in hot pursuit, hot from the flame. The union as a whole, healing sound. So the union itself, as well as probably both individuals involved needing to go through healing. And one methodology that you can use toward that is healing sounds. And it can be binaural tones. If there is a particular genre of music, I really like binaural tones, and there's some for everything. Everything you can think of, there's a binaural tone to help you to heal that aspect of your life or that area. But we don't have to get all scientific about it either. Any genre of music, anything you like listening to that makes you feel at peace or that engages you. It could be guided meditation, perhaps. It can be some sort of motivational speaker. Whatever floats your boat, as they say, do that. And you may want to put an emphasis on sacral chakra, because that is the area around which she's holding this sort of orb-like thing, this sphere. overall, is the air and water again. That's interesting. Fire, air, and water. A lot of, well, this actually is connected to fire for me too, because although I see air and water, when I look at it, when I feel it, it is connected to that healing energy called temperance, major arcana card temperance in the traditional tarot. And temperance is like a karmic energy, as in of the universe, destined and very healing and therapeutic, and meant to restore us, help us to recover, help us to get back to wholeness and in balance and find our zen and chi and you know, just get healthy again. It restores our well-being. I don't know how else to describe it, but temperance in the tarot represents the sign of Sagittarius. So it's still fire energy, even though it looks like air and water. What would the masculine have the feminine do toward the union? And it is listening. So it's another connection to healing sounds and so forth. And listening, being connected to communication and a means of communication, connected to air signs, reflective of air signs. And as is the star, again, the star represents the planet Uranus and the sign of Aquarius, which it rules. So all air signs are about communication, but Uranus and Aquarius actually rule technology. And so that's why I always connect Aquarius to not only communication, but electronic communication. And I find telepathy and connecting to the universe and everything, I find, to me, that's a means of electronic communication, because we're electric beings, you know. So just if I'm talking to you through my head, that's electric communication. But also like online dating and email and text and what, you know, I'm not very savvy, tech savvy, but you know, all the means of electronic communication are, social media and all that stuff. Connected to this. Also, it is about answered prayer too. So you already, this is like your second energy of answered prayer to have shown up, because you actually had the answered prayer card. But it's like listening and receiving answers to those things that we have asked the for which we've asked the universe. Also, it is again a means of meditation. You could be listening to binaural tones, listening to guided meditation, listening to a motivational speaker. What is the masculine himself willing to do here? Aw, soulmate. To get in the game, as they say here with you. Beautiful. And we have these two, this is the second time today too that I've had this, where he's chosen these two cards like right next to each other or upon each other somehow, some way, of the same color scheme, this eternal flame and the soulmate. What would the universe have the two to do? And it is drop your expectancy, because you're blocking your blessings. So expectancy is like knowing the outcome. Like somebody said to me the other day, she offered, one of my really awesome clients, friends, subscribers, all that kind of stuff, Facebook friend. She asked me if I myself needed any healing. Because I need an energy exchange in order to do the healing, the way that the universe taught me to do it. Like I hold this whole revelation and vision and very specific instructions, do this and do that. And one of the things was like I need an energy exchange, so I can't very well pay myself. So when people sometimes will, you know, donate for me to be able to treat myself with like, you know, Divine Light Cleanse, for example, or something like that. So she asked me like, you know, do you or, you know, your Divine Masculine need any healing? And I was like, oh, like, you know, like I hate to, you know, to ask you for that, but I really, really appreciate you thinking about me. And I said, you know, I do feel that he has this issue going on. And I told her like specifics about what I felt was going on. I said, but I try not to actually look at it or read myself or read him or, you know, our connection, because, you know, I want to live the experience, not just like the outcome or just sit around anticipating the outcome and waiting for it. I want to, you know, I want to live the experience, and I'm meant to. We're all meant to go through these karmic lessons and stuff. But that's what expectancy is. It's trying to like get to the outcome first. And to control the outcome, even worse, is trying to like control it. Like, universe, I want this at this time, on this day, in this manner, you know, and that's going to allow me to do this. And then I'm as if the universe needs our help, you know, as if we awakened ourselves and, you know, have a better plan, you know. So you both got to let that kind of energy go, because it's a hindrance. It really does hold people back. And the outcome here, the Goddess. So the outcome here is, you know, accepting what is, basically, and letting go of what's holding you back, surrendering to all the advice and following through on it. That's what the outcome is. Again, the moon, as well as the goddess and the goddess of the moon, represent femininity, feminine energy, and then even more specifically, feminine energy of surrender. That is letting go. And then with it in mind that all that we do that with, it just keeps propelling us further and further up. You know, your love keeps lifting me higher is basically what's happening. We're letting go of the negativity, we're turning it into love, and then it lifts us higher. Let's take a look at, since it looks like there's a good connection here between you and this gentleman. I won't say his name on here. But let's take a look at maybe like the primary focus for you guys. Is it, I'd like to say just love, because we're all meant to basically teach love through one means or another, and to help the planet's vibration to be increased. The same way we're getting lifted higher, the purpose is ultimately, and more important than us, that by doing that, we lift the planet's vibration higher into love. It's overwrought by hate and evil people. But that's in all of the like prophecies, that's in all the scriptures, no matter what religion you're into. Basically, they all at some point say that the earth is the dominion of the devil, and this is where his children are and running free, and they breed, you know, their kind of stuff, which is hate and evil. So here we come, children of a different place, a higher place, to, you know, sort of try to turn that around. So there are a few different means. For some, there are, all of us share a primary focus of love. For some, their secondary focus is even love, and that's how they demonstrate to others how to, you know, how to do the same. It's by example, right? Others are meant to, you know, raise funds and provide, you know, employment opportunities and other sorts of opportunities for people to be able to fellowship and support one another and lift each other up. And that would be the Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Autumn. Then there are those of us who, maybe the artists among us, you know, that provide some sort of service or product, because I guess we're all artists in one way or another, but those that, you know, maybe sing, dance, paint, draw, write, and they could actually end up having a job doing what they adore, what they love, about which they're passionate. You know, it's that sort of thing. Where your focus is your creative passions, and they help to heal the world and save the world. So that's the Ace of Spring, Ace of Wands. And then the Ace of Winter. You know, last but not least, I didn't put these in any particular order. The Ace of Winter is like the ace of truth. The winter, suit of winter, or otherwise known as the suit of swords in the tarot. So this would be the Ace of Swords. And, you know, the sword is like the leader of the army. So these are like the street soldiers. These are the people that are outside. You know, these are the Colin Kaepernicks. You know, these are the people that are taking a stand and that are standing on truth and risking their reputations and maybe even their lives and all that kind of stuff. There's some of us whose job it is to do this. You know, some might argue mine is. Just even being here on YouTube talking this kind of stuff. So then there's that. Let's see which your union might be meant. Just giving these a little Harlem shake. Some of you might be able to watch where I put the stuff. I don't know. I had no idea. I really confused myself when I do this. So not the Ace of Winter, not the Ace of Autumn, not the Ace of Spring. Very nice. They're all awesome to me, but very nice. So this is your primary focus here. And what the Ace of Summer says, and as an additional message to you, this is the beginning of a new emotional experience for you. It may be the first blush of romantic love, the rebirth of a current relationship, or the awakening of spiritual gifts and insights. So beautiful. Now I'll take a look at this card again with the 2 and 3 of Summer, checking for waves. Now, I don't talk about waves much. I've talked about them more probably this week than I have in like 2 years. Because when I first started, I would talk about them. And, you know, basically God told me that people were becoming too consumed with the whole thing. And that there were people out there that some, you know, pretty well known, because the community is, you know, small world and fairly small community of, you know, divine unions and quote unquote twin flames and stuff. So a lot of the same people you'll see over and over. And some of them very much consumed in being a royal this and a, you know, a special that and that's all ego. And that's not in any of the scriptures. That's not in any of the prophecies. In fact, even the kind of angel that they were referring to themselves is not in the Torah, not in the Quran, not in the Bible. So it's like a made up faction of angels even. The whole thing is a mess. But people wanting to be, you know, even when it's something connected to something spiritual, still trying to be this like best of the best and put themselves in a separate category. And so God basically just told me like, okay, like leave it alone and leave that alone. Leave those people to that stuff that they're doing. And, you know, you work on something else. But then recently, yeah, I was shown, moved, guided, told to get back on it, and shown a bunch of other stuff. As you know, I'm sure you've seen some of the readings that I did last week about what's to come. And just that it was revealed to me that there had even been an 11-degree Gemini partial solar eclipse. Nobody was talking about. I didn't hear one other person mention this solar eclipse. I saw it in a vision and had to Google to find out if it was true. And sure enough, it was. And then I was shown a bunch of other stuff and all these things that are connected. So that is why I'm checking now to see what wave one might be included in. Not 3. And not 2. You got the Ace of Summer again. This is your card. Second time. Very nice. So wave 1. What time is it? I told you I'm trying to be So let's do this spread from the perspective of the universe, beginning with new love and opening to Beauty Queen, which represents like the energy of maybe the Queen of Wands, but also Venus. So Venus is both the Queen of Air and the Queen of Earth as well. And the reason is because Beauty Queen, well, Venus she rules popularity, beauty, confidence, esteem, like all those things. You know, love, she rules. So when I see Beauty Queen, I see her and that, like that energy of the Empress, like attractiveness, all of that. And opening to friendship. This friendship card always gives me a feeling one way or another. You know, it can be related. I can feel it connected to different characters in a given reading, but on premise, it always reminds me, speaks to me about a relationship, the friendship that's developing into something more because of this like wedding band, like ring here. Friendship. And you know what I was thinking? There could be an actual friend that's up to no good, and this could be her. Brunette female. This person represents an energy, a karmic energy, can be an actual female too. You know, can be a person if it's not just an energy, like a negative energy. And it could be a friend. And that friend could very specifically be a Leo or a Cancer or both, a Cuspian, like a Cancer Leo. Today's the first day of Cancer too, by the way. That could have something to do with it as well. And back to Beauty Queen, so opposite the friendship yet again. So on that note, I will cut after this. Wow, here she is again. Mature woman, just jumped out of the bottom as well. So let me show you that. Overall energy is a wallflower. And it's kind of like the energy of the Four of Cups and not missing an opportunity, and very much connected to that song from me, I Hope You Dance, because it basically like illustrates it for me. It depicts the whole thing. Here's this person sitting in a chair. She's at the party. Here's somebody dancing, a silhouette right next to her. Here's another one. Somebody's dancing there, and this one is sitting here on a chair. And it's like, if you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. Like, stop letting life pass you by. The card itself, as it relates to zodiac, tends to be connected to Capricorn. So it could be showing up because of the full moon. Capricorn, Scorpio, and Gemini. Divine couple. Recent past. Near future. Masculine's higher self. Blocks to the union. The feminine can do. The masculine can do. Further advice from the universe and the outcome. Divine couple. New love. I love this. You know, so like love anew, love renewed, love brand new, and doing it in a new way that you never did before. Brand new path. Recent past, freedom. Maybe an Aquarius was involved again, but whether one was or not, maybe Uranus was involved. Uranus may have ushered in that energy for you. Uranus and Taurus, where it's going to be for the next 8 years, may have ignited something for you. Mars in Aquarius, which is going retrograde in Aquarius too this week. It's been in Aquarius for about a month, but going retrograde this week. That may have ignited something for you when Mars entered Aquarius. Mars, ruler of a fire sign, Aries, and also Scorpio. But Mars also the masculine planet of love and all about action and aggression and getting going on these sorts of things. And Mars, the red planet, so very attached to fire energy. Could have been what did this for you guys. Near future. Boom, this is the second time today. I think I'm being like guided to do the readings in a certain order, you know, because I'm out of order too. I'm like jumping around. I normally go very specifically, like first come, first serve, but I've been moved, like do her reading, now do his reading. And this is the second time today that this union card showed up here. The other person was one of my existing clients who is also a fire sign, a Sagittarius. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Masculine's higher self. Mature woman, that mature woman that dropped out. And I felt that that was probably your energy, actually, sort of combating against the other one. Like I was holding up that brunette female that I said is like a karmic energy. And then here comes the mature woman dropping out of the bottom. I'm like, oh, okay, there she is. Like, not so fast, sister. Blocks to the union. This happened today too. This is crazy. So this also can be that energy of not just Mars, but maybe more specifically Mars and Aquarius, and maybe not having taken action or being inactive on certain things is like standing in your own way. Could be a block. Maybe connected to the energy of an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or a Leo. Or even a Scorpio. Again, Mars, ruler of both Aries and Scorpio. But like not failing to take action. When it was here for the other couple earlier, it was like this. It was like an overbearing sort of emperor kind of energy that was holding you back, like the opposite of Aquarius and the freedom seeking. This was like, you know, being manipulated and being maybe a manipulator, a little controlling, and the need to let go of control issues, because and yes, in part standing in your own way. And that could certainly be the case here too, with expectancy having shown up before as being what the universe wanted the two of you to work on. So it can be like your own control issues blocking you here. Further advice from the universe from this deck, open relationship. So being more out, open, honest, at least with each other, if not other people, about like, this is what's going on. Not that you have to go around and tell people, you know, we're together, we're together, not like that. But, you know, not being like ashamed of it either. Being free, out in the open, public. Right, it's here crossing the freedom. What the feminine can do here, there's some unresolved issue, maybe cord that needs to be cut, something. Not that you necessarily still have an active relationship with something, but something from an old relationship that is probably connected to the need for healing that's been showing up here throughout the reading that needs to be resolved. So it could be like a negative cord of attachment to someone, something, someplace, a combination of those that is also sort of restricting you. You need to break free a little more. Right? We had this energy in the recent past that did allow you guys to like loose yourselves from some of the ties that were binding you, but you've got a little further to go here. And the masculine needs to revisit some stuff too. There's some unfinished business, and Mars retrograde in Aquarius absolutely will have him do that. I talk about that in the general reading for all of us, how the full moon in Capricorn, and which could be this. When I pick this up, guess who's behind it? This chick again. Also up right behind that is long distance. I feel that long distance is definitely connected to her. Let me, as I'm talking to you, I'm going to be also trying to pay attention and finish that thought or that message that's coming in about that. But this, I talked about in the general about how not only Mars retrograde in Aquarius, but also the full moon in Capricorn, and the fact that both Pluto, the other ruler of Scorpio, and Saturn, ruler of Capricorn, are also simultaneously both retrograde in Capricorn while all this is going on too. And so those things are going to push you to have to revisit right? Travel. And somebody could be traveling literally too. That just came in. Oh, maybe that's connected to this long distance. Somebody may be literally getting in the way or have been getting in the way of you guys traveling to one another and meeting one another, even if it is metaphoric. Somebody trying to stand in the way of that and block that. But aside in a more metaphorical way, this travel, again, about the retrogrades, the planets in retrograde, they force us to go back and handle new stuff. And Mars and Aquarius retrograde in particular is one that is sort of preventing people, or is expected to prevent people to start a lot of new projects, but certainly will force us to finish the old ones that we've already started. So that could be that. And the outcome here, destiny. Accepting what is, what will be, will be. We just got to continue to put in the work and work on ourselves. And the rest is happening for us. It looks like I was going to start with reconciliation if I had used the Doreen Virtue Romance Angels too. Further advice from the Angel Tarot to the masculine, the Seven of Earth, seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, and unnecessary worry. So basically, like what the Destiny card says, everything is unfolding, everything is going, what's meant to happen is going to happen. And when you plant seeds, they are meant to sprout out of the ground. They will. We don't have to worry about whether or not they're going to sprout out of the ground. Of course they will. For you, this is the Four of Water I was talking about. Are you going to sit it out or dance? Missing an opportunity, discontentment or boredom. Open your eyes to the possibilities. So this is like your second notice of this kind of energy surrounding you. So you definitely want to make sure that you're paying attention and counting your blessings, and even the small ones, or what might seem small. Pay attention to the significance and whether or not it's an opportunity for you that you have not explored. From the Universal Love Oracle to the Masculine Golden Path. So this is indicative of healing too, and it's a really beautiful one. This one showed up earlier too. All these cards repeating themselves for you guys. It's connected to the energy of the Wizard of Oz for me, and the whole concept of it. And we even have the rainbows, right? Somewhere over a rainbow is where dreams come true. But the golden path is like the yellow brick road. And when Dorothy and the others got to the end of the yellow brick road, or the purpose, why they even wanted to, was because the Emerald City was there. And Oz was there at the Emerald City waiting to be able to help them and to free them from their limitations, or congratulate them on their arrival and celebrate their healing and what they learned about themselves and their growth on their way there. And I feel for us that it's the same thing. When we get to the golden path, the end of the golden path, the emerald ray is there, the ray of healing, and Archangel Raphael is there, waiting to do the same, to celebrate us having arrived. So that's what the masculine can look forward to. For you, reflection. Yep. I said I felt cords of attachment coming from this card when I picked it up, because past love could mean so many things. Even he could be a past love, like we all, and is, in another aspect, we met somebody, we've known each other before, right, in some form of life or something. But I just felt that this was connected to something of your past, and so you need to do a self-assessment of your life. Looking back on your past, did you leave anything behind that you should have brought with you? It's not too late to run back and pick it up and take it. Or is there anything you should have dropped, like a hot rock, that you went ahead and took? Maybe pain, resentment, the inability to forgive, all these things, sorrow and old feelings from old relationship, all kinds of baggage. If you have that, drop those. I would. That's my suggestion to you. The assessment, you got to look at your future too. Take a reflection of that. Do I want to carry these bags with me into the future? I mean, that's up to you. Again, my suggestion is that you drop them. But, you know, you got to do that reflecting on your life and decide where you're going and what you want to take. And lastly, for the masculine, money. So this is the energy of earth signs. And again, maybe the Capricorn full moon. It's about pentacles. It's about abundance, being forthcoming. And I guess who cares, you know, from whom it's coming or how it's getting. It's about abundance. It's on its way. And for you, mature man, this is that overbearing energy that I was talking about. And maybe this is also to whom this could be another message that I was saying, that I felt an overbearing energy, but maybe it's not just from you guys. Maybe it's like connected to this, something from your past. Maybe a past relationship of yours, romantic, maybe something with your father, something from childhood, but something else that's in the way here, like some sort of cord for you. And this mature man is connected to that overbearing energy of the sign of Aries and the Emperor card, as it relates to the Emperor being representative of like a father figure or something, and you know, you're like you're under thumb. So work on that. I hope that you have enjoyed your reading and you find it helpful. Namaste, Angel.